Hi everyone, welcome to Coats and Jackets, and today it's time for another Top 5 Wednesday. So this Top 5 Wednesday is an official Goodreads Group Top 5. It's an old one though, because I didn't really see any for this month that I felt like I could properly participate in. As always, the Goodreads Top 5 Wednesday was started by Lainey, and the links to her channel, as well as the Goodreads Top 5 Wednesday group, will be in the description bar down below. Top 5 I picked to do for today was top 5 books with red covers, because that sounded just so interesting. So I started going through my books to see which ones I had with red covers, and if I had to rank them, which ones I thought would be really interesting to talk about. Coming in at number 5 is the Indiana Jones Handbook by Quirk Publishing. It's not really exactly what you call spectacular literature, but it is so much fun. I remember reading this and honestly just laughing out loud at some of the stuff. It's written as if you were going to be an adventurer, just like Indiana Jones. And yeah, it's pretty funny. It teaches you how to use a whip. It teaches you how to use your whip in order to hang on to a vehicle. It teaches you how to take a punch as well as how to give a punch. It teaches you how to treat snake bite. All kinds of interesting little things like that. Coming in at number 4 is Hollywood Pinups by Timothy White. Timothy White is a photographer. This is an art book, and this is exactly what the title says it is. Hollywood Pinups, and just Hollywood Pinups. He is known for doing amazing celebrity photography, and the poses and the way everything is done is just really fantastic. Some of it is like new takes on masterwork paintings, so you can see some of that influence there, but you can also see like new spins on like the traditional pinup poses that are really famous and really well known. It is just a beautiful book, and if you're interested in photography or celebrities or both, this is a great book to pick up. Coming in at number 3 is Royal Flush. Now, technically the full cover is not red, it's just a lot of the text, but the spine and everything is red, so I'm counting it. This is a book which, as you can see, I'm like partway through rereading and put it down. I've read it several times now. This was actually written by one of my friends, Scott Bartlett. Despite him being one of my friends, this is honestly just a really good book. It is very clever and very funny. It's been described as a medieval comedy. It's about a king. It takes place in 4 different parts, and you can take it either as separate kings or as one king at different points in a journey. It's really in how you read it and interpret it. It is absolutely hilarious. I don't even know how to describe the type of humor. It's just really clever and really well done. Coming in at number 2 is a book that never gets old. To Be or Not to Be, a Choose Your Own Adventure book. This book was by Ryan North, and it is amazing and fantastic. The cover is by Noelle Stevenson, and inside there's not only illustrations from her, but as you can see from the back, there's work by Kate Beaton, Kate Leth, Emily Carroll. There's just so many artists, too many to name, that do different illustrated endings and different parts to the adventure depending on which page you choose to go to next. It's a retelling of Hamlet, but you get to make your own decisions, so a ton of different crazy things can happen depending on what you pick, which is why it never gets old reading it. One really sad thing is I was carrying this around with me for a while, and of course it did kind of get a little beat up there, which was really sad. That's the price of carrying around books you love. And the number 1 book with a red cover is actually a 2-parter, It's Fucking Hell and If Hitler Were a Hippie by Jake and Dinos Chapman. So this was an exhibition that was on at White Cube Gallery that we went to see as a class, and of course I had to pick up the catalog. This was so amazing. Basically the premise of Fucking Hell was if Hitler came to power and there's all kinds of death and destruction and mutated people from radiation and just craziness, and it's all miniatures. So there were these huge vitrines set up with these large scale dioramas of these super miniature figures of just everything. What's really cool about this book as well is that even though the artists designed it and made it, the original set of miniatures actually got destroyed in a fire. The private collector that owned them, who was planning to exhibit them, his place caught fire and he lost a bunch of artwork, including this original thing. So he commissioned Jake and Dinos Chapman to remake it. So they remade the whole thing, but because they were on a time limit and they wanted to be able to keep exhibiting, they had to hire a full team of people to help them cast and recreate all the miniatures and dioramas. And I can't believe they did all this work twice. And the amazing thing is that at the back here, they actually do list everybody that helped and what their roles were, so you actually get to see all the artists behind it and who went into making this become a reality. The companion to this is the smaller book, and though not a red cover, I want to mention it because it is part of the same exhibit. It's called If Hitler Were a Hippie, and in another side room there were a series of paintings up on the wall. They were actual historical paintings that Jake and Dinos had purchased that Hitler had made. So Hitler was known as being a painter, and it had a bunch of his little countryside scenes. And then they went in and they actually painted over them. So as an example, the landscape up there, that's Hitler's painting, and then the rest of that they did. So I'm not sure, depending on what your stance is on that. They actually defaced historical artwork, and it's pretty amazing. The thing about this that fascinates me is that I have trouble marking in a brand new book, even if it's one that's made to be marked in. It's particularly hard for me to think of ever writing in like an actual book like this, let alone going in and changing and adding things into somebody else's painting, particularly ones that are meant to be of historic value. And there's something there about breaking those lines and taking yourself outside of that comfort zone and doing something that controversial. That's just really very fascinating. So if you're interested at all in this, I would encourage you to look up White Cube Gallery and see if they still have these available. They may still be in print. I will leave any links in the description bar down below. Thanks so much for watching this video, and if you liked this one, I do have other top 5 videos, and they're in a playlist which will be linked in the description bar down below. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.